Hey there, YouTube. I'm Jack, and this is Raw Tropical Living. Thanks for joining me today. Hope you all had a lovely weekend. It has been almost perfect here, about 80 degrees, very few clouds, and I have spent a lot of time outside this weekend. Lots and lots of park time. I was down there earlier today working out, got my shirt off, and got a little natural vitamin D for the first time in a while, and boy, did it feel good. Anyhow, today we're going to talk about raw food diet on a budget. Is it too expensive? Got a few tips and advice for you here. Guys, if you're not already subscribed to the channel, please go down and hit that subscribe button. Then click on the little bell and check send notifications so you'll stay subscribed to the channel. And you'll have to excuse me if I take a sip or two off my smoothie while I'm doing this. So, what is one of the main things I hear people talking about all the time? The raw food diet's too expensive. It's kind of an elite type thing. You can't do it if you're on a budget. You can't do, it's a rich person's thing. Well, it can't, I was talking about, I think it was in the last video, about some of this fancy looking food you see on Instagram. And I'll refer back to that for a minute. If you look at a lot of the stuff on social media and a lot of the stuff that people share, I don't blame you. I would think that this was a very elite and expensive lifestyle myself. Well, I don't have the money to afford that, so I'm just going to kind of give you a few ideas and a few little tricks that hopefully you can use. I don't know. I don't find this lifestyle really any more expensive than when I was eating before the standard American diet. Then again, I guess you could theoretically not be eating a raw food diet, a vegan diet, and still be eating somewhat healthy, somewhat conscientious. So that may not be a fair comparison because I just used to eat garbage. I would go out to sushi a couple of times a week. I'd do this, I'd do that. So my lifestyle's changed a lot. But if I look at just basics, the stuff that I buy at the store, I think what trips people up, like I say, is when they see all these things on social media, like the fancy equipment, the fancy juices, the juicing thing, where you see these people juicing every day, and you start, you start kind of calculating in your head, well, good Lord, if I'm using this, 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 and this, and if I'm juicing every day, and if I'm doing this, and I got to buy all this equipment, I totally see how that just kind of gets going, that this is a rich person's thing. It's not. It doesn't have to be. And one thing I would say is, if you're really on a tight budget, do the best you can to be fully raw if that's what you're shooting for. But just know, in certain parts of the country or in certain countries around the world, that being fully raw on a budget just may not work for you. It just might not be, everything you want it to be, or it may not be everything you see it being from people that live in different areas. I mean, if you look at my videos, go back 4 years, go back 5 years, and see how much different it was. When I was in Costa Rica, I was getting amazing fruit for very, very cheap. I wasn't spending much money. People would salivate looking at my photos back then. But here's what I would advise doing. Number one, and if you tell me, well, I don't like bananas, Jesus, I don't know how to help you then if you're on a budget and you don't like bananas. Bananas are the staple of this lifestyle. They are the bulk of my calories, and they are just something that I have a lot of every day. This particular smoothie I'm having right now has about 7 in there. And I generally almost every day eat 7, 8, 9 bananas worth of ice cream, sometimes more. So bananas are your friend. If you can get them even cheaper, bananas are not an expensive fruit in most places. I know there's always an exception. Somebody's going to reach out and say, oh, where I'm from, bananas are $3 a piece. But most places, bananas are not that expensive. Also, too, in a lot of different places, whether it's supermarkets, small grocery stores, check out the ugly table or just check out sales that they have. A lot of times you start seeing 2 or 3 spots on a banana. Those bananas will go on sale. So look for that, especially in smaller stores, maybe not like huge chains. You will see other things that can be on the ugly table, on the table that's just, where things are kind of on their last leg. But for the bananas, a lot of times, if you can find bananas on sale, the way that the rest of the world looks at bananas and the way that we look at bananas as far as ripening. I've bought sale bananas before and had to let them sit for 4 or 5 or 6 days before they ripen enough. So go for those bananas. Go for basics. Go for greens. I use in these smoothies, which I have a smoothie almost every day. I don't get to rotate my greens. I don't get to use a variety of greens like I used to, but I do the best I can. I buy big bags of kale. I buy these big bags of kale that are about this size for, I don't know, $2. So let's just kind of start adding up. So in a smoothie, and that's why I'm always talking about these green smoothies in my What I Eat in a Day videos and just mentioning them and referencing. I can get a lot of nutrition into here, and it's very cost effective. Okay, let's break down this smoothie right here. This smoothie has, I can't remember if it was 7 or 8 bananas. I would say here I probably pay about 15% of banana, 15 cents a banana. So let's say about $1.20. I'm gonna round up $1.20 for the bananas. I use about a half a bag of that big bag of kale. So now we're up to right around $2. I will generally put just a little bit of cacao in there. God, I don't know. That's probably 10 or 15 cents. What else? I usually put a splash of blackstrap molasses in there. But once again, that's out of a bottle. That's probably 10, 15, 20 cents. And I'm trying to think what else. Sometimes I'll put some chia seeds in there or whatever. But even if I was to use a couple more bananas in there for $3, I can put a lot of nutrition into this smoothie. Now, this particular smoothie has lentil sprouts in it as well. And, the amount of lentil sprouts I put in there, that's probably about 10 cents, 15 cents too. So it is not that expensive. Something else, and I'm just going to kind of free flow this as things pop up. I don't even have notes today talking about the sprouts that I put in there. Please get on the sprout thing. I bought a bag, I think I bought a 5-pound bag of organic black lentils, and I haven't even put a dent in that thing, and I eat sprouts every day. I'm constantly sprouting, so these sprouts are a good source of cheap nutrition. Next level nutrition and next level cheap. And you don't have to have a fancy machine to do this one either. You do it in a mason jar, a ball jar, one of those jars like Grandma used to pickle and stuff in. That's all I use. I don't use one of these little fancy ass sprouting things. They're kind of cute. I see them on Instagram and they make for great. They do pep up your stories a little bit, but I'm just like, I use these for almost everything. So get those tricks. Get the cheaper fruits. Get the kale. As the season comes, we're getting into the spring, more into the spring. Eat seasonably as fruits and vegetables come into your area. Try to buy things that are, natural, that are close to your area. I'm spacing on words right now, or that are local to your area. Watermelon will be coming soon. Even if they're not from your area, I noticed the mangoes, the prices you're starting to see more fruit come in now. So like I say, you're doing the best you can. Look for deals. Asian markets are a great place to look for your fruit as well. As far as the equipment, you see all this stuff, and I'm going to tell you a little story here. Especially the juicers. The juicers are kind of pricey. You got these $200, $300. You can get cheaper juicers, but you got these expensive juicers. And a lot of times the juicing weighs people down. They'll see an expensive juicer and they're like, I can't afford that. I can't afford to buy the stuff to juice every day. And I don't have the time to do it every day. I did it in the beginning. Excuse me. Actually, an Omega, of all things, was the first thing I ever bought. First piece of equipment I ever bought. And I made green juice diligently for the first maybe 6 months or so. And I was the same way. I'm like, yeah, if you're buying all this different stuff, I used to like to make this lemon ginger blast type drink. And I'm like, if I'm making all this stuff, that adds up every day. Plus, to me, juice is not a meal. I never recommend anybody replacing, or I can anyway, because I have to have my calories. So to me, juice was always like a vitamin. So that's the way I look at green juice now. I haven't had a green juice in ages. Would love it. I'm not shitting on green juices. If somebody brought me one and put in front of me every day, I'd suck it down. I love green juice. But when you're on a budget, it's not necessary. And in fact, it's going to eat up a lot of your money and a lot of your time. Even the Vitamix. Now, the Vitamix is a good investment, and if you look at it like you're doing this for a lifetime, get a refurbished or get one of the less expensive ones, one of the more basic ones. But if you absolutely can't, just get yourself a regular blender, Oster, O-S-T-E-R. I had Oster blenders when I first started. If I was really recommending, okay, you want to be able to make stuff raw, vegan, whatever in the kitchen, and you have very little money, I would say get yourself the cheapest of the cheap blender and get yourself a Black & Decker food processor. $25. I make my ice cream in it every day. I don't even use my Vitamix to make my ice cream in anymore. I do that every single day, and that way you just don't need to have all that fancy equipment. And the next thing is, if you can't, whether it's for the money or whatever, if you can't be 100% raw, stop beating yourself up about that. Whatever you have to fill in that's not raw, just make the best choices that you can, and eat staple stuff: beans, rice, quinoa, potatoes. Now I do tend to lean when I'm eating something cooked. I couldn't even tell you the last time I've eaten cooked rice. It's been years, or there may have been. Yeah, I mean, I've probably had some stray rice, but mostly I haven't eaten rice in ages. It's potatoes for me, but get those staples in there. Think about that, whether you're doing raw or whether you're doing eat cooked all the time or whatever. Think about the staples. Think about the nutrition. Think about the basic stuff you need to put in your body. All that stuff out there that you're seeing expensive, that's like extra. That's like bonus. It's nice to have, and I'm not going to knock any of that stuff. If I've got the dollars and I'm out in LA or somewhere, yeah, I'd probably be eating in a raw food restaurant every damn day. But we do what we can do, and we just make the best out of what we've got. So don't let the money trip you up. There's always a workaround, and if you can't be 100%, you can't be 100%. But you can get very close there, and you can probably do it with just a little thought. Anyhow, hope you guys enjoyed this one today. If you like it, please give me a thumbs up, and I'll see you in a couple of days. Peace.